The Matrix, 1999, was written and directed by Lily and Lana Wachowski, more commonly known as the Wachowski Sisters. The film stars Keanu Reeves as an everyday computer programmer who lives a double life as a secret online hacker known as Neo. In his secrecy, Neo repeatedly comes across the phrase, the Matrix, and is tantalized by its meaning and what it refers to. One day, while he's working in the office, he gets a call from a man named Morpheus, who tells him that he has the answer to all of his questions. The evil Agent Smith attempts to stop Neo from learning the truth, but with the assistance of Morpheus's friend Trinity, he is given a choice to learn the truth about the Matrix and leave everything he's ever known behind, or to return to his normal life and forget that any of this ever happened. This man versus machine sci-fi thriller takes you on a journey in and out of the world of the Matrix. Think Blade Runner, Inception, or The Terminator as comparable movies for this production. Along with Keanu Reeves as Neo, the film co-stars Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity and Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus. The film was and still is Keanu's biggest role to date, and firmly established him as an actor born to play in the action film. The Matrix budgeted at a suitable $63 million, which may seem like a lot for the 90s, but for a film relying this heavily on technology and city structure, it can only be expected to have a budget as high as it did. The film also grossed at around $172 million, making it a huge financial success. The film was also nominated for and won 4 Oscars in the year 2000, including Best Film Editing, Best Sound Effects Editing, and Best Visual Effects, of course. But more than that, The Matrix broke boundaries in a number of ways. Firstly, The Matrix was released in and took place in the year 1999, at a time when societal questioning was at an all-time high, with the advent of a lot of new technologies, especially the computer and the internet, made people wonder if they had something to fear for, especially with the coming advent of AI. For that reason, and a number of others, including people wondering what would happen to the clocks as they switched from 1999 to 2000, people were very concerned about what this new millennium would bring. So the film really took the fears and concerns of the time and framed it into a compelling and entertaining way. The film also starred very uncharacteristic heroes. Keanu Reeves, who wasn't this big macho guy like many other action film leads in his time, like Steven Seagal from Under Siege or Arnold Schwarzenegger from The Terminator. The film also had starring roles for a black man, Lawrence Fishburne, with a very high-profile role, and an androgynous woman fighter, Carrie-Anne Moss. It may not seem like much, but this casting made The Matrix more diverse than many of its 1980s and 90s counterparts. The film, of course, also had a number of technical advancements and methods that made it so great. This included the green tint on film of the original production, which was done in an effort to give the film a computery look that was common for industrial computers at the time, and made people think that they were in a simulation while watching. The film was also inspired by Ghost in the Shell, a 1995 anime sci-fi film that used Eastern fighting choreography for its high-sequence action scenes. The Wachowski sisters were very inspired by this film when they created The Matrix, and used the Hong Kong action style, which was later popularized by The Matrix in many major Hollywood action films today. The film also used digital rain, which came from the Ghost in the Shell's opening sequence, and was used in The Matrix opening sequence. Of course, another great advent that came with The Matrix 1999 was the advent of bullet time. This highly sophisticated technology took the use of over 100 cameras around a circular arena to create a sort of frame rate world that could be manipulated in the effect of creating slow motion and differing speeds of action in the characters. And that can be seen in a number of scenes throughout the movie, which made it a really big standout film in technical regards for the year 1999. The process for creating bullet time is a really lengthy and involved one, as it involves an animation rig which is done at first to sort of design the field and layout of the scene, and then also it includes a choreographed arrangement of the characters as they move within the space, and rigging of the cameras to film and shoot at a certain time, and finally with interpolation to add missing frames to create a super fluid sequence as the cameras shift from one to the other throughout the slow motion scenes. The last thing I'll note about The Matrix is that it was created by 2 trans filmmakers, Lily and Lana Wachowski. While at the time of making The Matrix, they didn't realize in a full capacity that they were trans, as they would only later come out in 2012 and 2016 respectively. There was some sort of revelation that Lily says sort of inspired this idea of a person trapped in their own body. And that experience is something that they made universal throughout The Matrix, and something that really inspired a lot of other trans viewers and filmmakers, as they've noted over the years. So it's really great to see some sort of diversity, not only with the casting, as I mentioned earlier, but also within the filmmaking directly. And seeing that process come to fruition as the turn of the century has brought more acceptance into the world is really a great thing to come across today. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed The Matrix, and as the film ended, I was left on the edge of my seat, and I can't wait to watch the sequels. Even though I've heard they're not as good, I still am planning on watching them all the way through to The Matrix 4 in 2021. So hopefully you enjoyed this review, and that gives you a little bit of an idea of what to expect when you're coming across The Matrix 1999.